What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. In today's video, I want to get into two different topics with you. The first, Sauce Gardner takes to Twitter, and oh my goodness gracious, did he make Jet fans very, very happy when he tweeted out that he wants to be a New York Jet for life. I would like to tell Sauce Gardner that we too, as Jet fans, would really like to see him be a New York Jet for the entirety of his career. He has been an absolute stud his first two seasons in the league. I am very excited to watch him in year three. And this is important because after year three in the NFL, that's when extension talk could come into play. And I just really hope that things go well with the 2022 class when it's time to get extensions and they're able to keep as much of that core as humanly possible. And that it doesn't get messy and turn into a Jamal Adams situation. That was horrific for both sides, really. I mean, I think Jamal handled himself terribly, but it really stunk that you had someone who was taken 6th overall that basically cried his way out of town after, 3 seasons with the team. It was very, very bizarre how quickly Jet fans had to turn on Jamal Adams because, again, when he was here, he was, there's no denying he was a very good football player on the field, but was also a gigantic pain in the ass off the field. And luckily, Sauce Gardner is not that, which is great. Like, Sauce Gardner, character, top of the top. You could say the same things with Breece Hall, Jermaine Johnson, Garrett Wilson. Very, very high character guys. And Sauce coming out and tweeting that, again, is going to make Jet fans incredibly, incredibly happy, which got me thinking, like, what kind of contract extension do you think that Sauce Gardner is going to end up getting? So I took a look at corners and saw that Jair Alexander has the highest APY, which is $21 million per year. He signed a 4-year, $84 million contract in 2022. So that was a couple years ago. You also had the Denzel Ward and Jalen Ramsey contracts, and those are the only two other guys in NFL history who came in over $20 million a year. And let's be honest, Sauce Gardner is absolutely clearing the $20 million a year mark. A way too early guess at potential, like in this range, plus or minus a couple million. I was thinking like 5 years, $110 million, which is both Denzel Ward and Jalen Ramsey went over 5 years. And Ramsey was $100 million, and you had Denzel Ward, who was like a touch over that, just so you could say that he beat him out. But maybe 5 for 110, somewhere around $75 million in guarantees, and that is roughly a $22 million per year. Could it get all the way up to 25? I assume that's possible, right? We're starting to see defensive players get more and more money now in today's league, and with the cap going up year over year, it's entirely possible that it goes up by a significant margin, but I would think somewhere around $22 million a year is my guess or expectation for now. I think there's a chance that it goes higher, so 25 on the high end, 22 is probably on the floor, right? Like, I think they're going to make him the highest paid corner in football, which would obviously have him clear Jair Alexander at $21 million, and I don't think it's going to be just tying it at 21, so we'll go between 22 and 25 a year. The second thing that I wanted to get into was, again, just how unfortunately badly the New York Jets botched the John Franklin Myers situation. So we talked about him getting traded for a 2026 6th round pick, which was not a very good return. I understand that it was a cap dump, but the redid Broncos contract came out, and it's $15 million with a $5 million cap hit in 2024. And apparently, John Franklin Myers, he took to Twitter and said that the Jets did not offer him anywhere close to that on the redone contract, which I think is a shame. I think that's unfortunate. And look, I've been pretty open and honest in all my videos. If the Jets do something well, I will be first in line praising the New York Jets and saying, I think this is good because X, Y, and Z. Unfortunately, if they do something poor, I'm going to say that. And I think this was a poor decision It was something that I wish the Jets found a way to do, to redo that contract and get him to stay. On a $5 million cap hit in 2024 and $10 million in 2025, I think it would have been well worth it to redo that deal for the New York Jets. And I do think it was a mistake. I'm not someone who's going to just rip the Jets and say everything they do is awful, but I'm also not going to be a shill and say that everything they do is great. I'm open with you guys. I'm honest with you guys. I don't do reactionary things. I don't embellish how I'm feeling. I just want to come on and talk about how things are with the team. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. Unfortunately, I think this one was a mistake because now you're kind of in a spot where, as it currently stands, they're going to rely on Michael Clemens to be edge 4. That doesn't make me feel a whole, very comfortable. Reddick, Jermaine Johnson, and Will McDonald, I am excited about those 3. After that, man, do they go back to the well and try to bring in Calais Campbell, which they tried to do last year? There's a chance that maybe, like I said, that they want to go with one of the UDFA guys even as well. They added a couple edges there. They have Michael Clemens on the roster. There are options out there, but you knew what JFM was. He was going to give you, a ton of pressures every single year. The sack numbers were a touch on the lower side this past year than where they normally are, but he's usually like a 5 to 7 sack guy, going to rack up a ton of pressures, and is a really solid player and their best run defending edge rusher. So that's going to be a real big challenge to replace for the New York Jets. And I do look at that as a potential issue. And again, they have options what they could do and now pivot to. They could sign Calais Campbell. They could see if one of the undrafted free agents pan out. Or maybe, like I said, they believe Michael Clemens gets better this year. And I'm rooting for him. I hope he does. Because if he does, then that makes the loss of JFM a little bit easier to swallow. But again, right now, I'm a little bit concerned what their plan is going to be on how to replace his production and what he does there. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I am Matt O'Leary. I'll catch you guys next time.